Liverpool have just lost 4-1 to Napoli. It was kind of humiliating. So I'm glad Gareth is with us here today so that we can finally reverse the roles. But let's start looking at their results this season. It hasn't been great. Drawn at Fulham, drawn at Crystal Palace, lost to Man United. They thrashed Bournemouth and they seem to have turned the corner. They won last minute at Newcastle. But then they drew at Everton and now finally beaten by Napoli. You brought in 6 players, Gaurav. Nunez, Carvalho, Ramsey, Melo, Van de Berg, and Williams. Do you think that's enough?
Van der Berg and Williams are older signings, though. I would say no, we haven't done enough. It's pretty fucking clear we've not done enough. I think any Liverpool fan who's saying that we've adequately bolstered the squad after the season we had last year and we came so close to winning 4 trophies is fooling themselves. If you honestly think that, we didn't need a midfielder, you're an idiot, because it's very fucking clear that we needed a midfielder. It's very fucking clear that we've not replaced Gini Wijnaldum since he left for PSG seasons ago. And, okay, fine. You spent 65 million on Darwin Núñez. Yeah, 40 million of that came from Sadio Mane's sale. So our net spend over the course of the last fuck knows, like since Jurgen Klopp has been here, is basically negative. Like, we've not actually bolstered the squad. We've just replaced outgoing with better incomings. You can't sustain that forever. And the ownership has to take a lot of responsibility for this, because anyone watching the club at the end of last season could tell you, fuck, we need a midfielder. We need a backup right back. Sure, we got Calvin Ramsey, but he's been injured all preseason. He's 18 years old, man. So is there any competition for Trent's place? No, there isn't. There is competition at left back for Tsimikas and Robertson, but we've not given the squad the quality and depth it needs. Our midfielders starting this season are Harvey Elliott, James Milner, and Jordan Henderson.
Do you not think, by the way, that injuries have made a severe impact? Because historically, over the last few years, Liverpool have always wanted to go for the right player, right? They were linked to Chumavinga, I think his name is. He went to Madrid. They also wanted to sign Rafinha, who was Thiago's... Tchouaméni, that's it. Sorry, yeah. my bad. They also wanted to sign Rafinha, Thiago's brother, but he went to Qatar. But I mean, when you look at the squad, they have a revolving door of injured players. Henderson just went out injured. Thiago just came back. They bought Carvalho, who was injured. I think Fabinho was injured as well. So you're really, really short in the middle. Do you not think that's played a big part?
100% injuries have played a part, man. But at the end of the day, okay, you can make excuses for the front three when it comes to injuries, with Jota being injured, Firmino coming back from injury. You can say Darwin Núñez being suspended had a huge impact. You can say Luis Diaz hasn't hit the form of, late last season. But at the end of the day, and Salah has been disappointing. But I think at the end of the day, the fault is in the midfield, right? If you look at the way that squad is built up, here's our midfielders on the squad, okay? We've got Thiago, we've got Jordan Henderson, we've got Fabinho. That should be your starting 3. Under any circumstance, that's your 3 best midfielders. After that, now basically 2 of those 3 were injured to start the season. So let's take that out of the way. Out of those 3, 2 midfielders are in their prime. And Henderson is nearing the end of his prime. So you always needed someone to be a backup for Henderson. Cool. Harvey Elliott can play that role, and he's a bit more creative. Harvey Elliott's fucking less than 22 years old, bro. I don't want him starting every game. He shouldn't have to. On the other side of the spectrum, you've got Fabio Carvalho, also young, also coming into the squad, also learning the way we play. And he's fucking 19. He is not supposed to start every game for a title contending fucking team. Then you've got Naby Keita. Naby Keita has not played a full fucking season for Liverpool since his transfer. Naby Keita has not been available for basically more than half the games of his fucking career. So you can't count on him to be a replacement, to come off the bench. And it's the same problem with Oxlade-Chamberlain. You can't count on the two midfielders that are in the prime of their footballing careers, like late 20s. That's when you are at your prime as a midfielder. Both of those guys are injured all the fucking time. And then you've got James Milner.
Very old.
James Milner is 36 years old, dude. We are not trying to get him to start games and close down and cause that pressure. He's supposed to come in and secure games for us. So all of this, every Liverpool fan knew. Every Liverpool fan knew. So the fact that we didn't go all out for Tchouaméni, fine, he picked Real Madrid. The fact that there's rumors that we're trying to get Jude Bellingham this summer, and we held off because it wasn't the right price. You dumb motherfuckers. Front up the cash. Pay an extra 30, man. We made more money last season than any other team in world football in revenue. We surpassed you in revenue. That's the first time in 20 fucking years. Where's the money?
But Liverpool haven't really spent historically, but not in the last few years. They haven't really spent. I think they splashed out on Thiago a little bit, but I mean, you raise an interesting point with Milner, right? I'm wondering about the age profile of these players, because quite a few of them have hit their 30s now. I'm not saying they're past their prime, but you definitely need younger players coming in and bringing in competition. And you mentioned about Trent as well. Do you think that's a problem with this squad, that they don't have to drive anymore to continue? Because they've been going for a very long time. Do you think that's an issue with the squad now?
Look, I'd like to think I have a pretty good understanding of these Liverpool players because I've seen every interview, every inside training. I have fucking LFC TV. I watch everything that has to do with these players. Are they suffering from a lack of competition or motivation? No. That is not the case. It is mental fucking exhaustion and just not having the desire. Like, just not having the desire to play with the same intensity that we've been playing for the last fucking 5 seasons. And that might be physical exhaustion as well.
They're missing the complete basics, though. You saw the second goal that Napoli scored?
It's desire, bro.
That's Man United-esque, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's desire. It's desire. It's not a question of, oh, if I don't make this tackle, someone else will take my place. That's not the way this squad has worked. That's not the way this squad will work. The way this squad works is your fucking job is to be there and block that pass. If you look at all the goals we've conceded throughout the fucking season, they're all going down the flank. It's one through ball or over the top, and we're opened up. Why is that happening? Fucking any Liverpool fan that's actually not even tactically fucking astute, but just watches the game and understands what pressure means. Our midfield has to push up with our front three and press their midfield and not allow them to turn and pick a pass. Our midfield's not done that all season. So every motherfucker on the opposing midfield can receive the fucking ball, make a quick turn, has 3 seconds to fucking pick a long ball and open us up. If you give any Premier League midfielder or Champions League midfielder 3 to 5 seconds to pick a fucking pass, he's going to do a fucking pretty good pass. All we need is for our midfield to actually play the way that we used to. And fine, maybe teams have sussed out Liverpool. Maybe teams have figured out that, oh, you can just hit them over the top. and they'll be carved open. Those are tactical adjustments that we can make. When Matip actually came on, that wasn't happening anymore. The problem is the entire system is fragile. Liverpool is a well-oiled machine that is very fragile, but it's a perfect system. And when it works, which it has for the last fucking 5 years, it's glorious to watch and it's seamless. The football seems seamless. But if one part of that doesn't work, there was a time when we couldn't score goals to save our fucking lives. There was a time where we couldn't defend to score our fucking lives. And now we don't have any midfield, so we can't pressure to save our lives. And then everything falls apart. That's why you had Klopp saying yesterday that we need to reinvent ourselves. Because he understands that with this, the way we're playing right now, it's not going to fucking work out. And he even mentioned we didn't have one counter-pressing situation until Thiago came on.
Thiago came down. Yeah.
And he created 4 fucking chances just by counter-pressing. What the fuck was everyone doing before that? It's laziness and a lack of intensity up here. It's a lack of desire. Maybe it's because we've been going so long. Maybe it's because last season was so long and they barely got a break in the summer. It could be a myriad of fucking reasons, bro. But honestly, I don't think it's a lack of competition. I honestly don't feel that with these Liverpool players. They love the shirt. They love the badge. They understand what this means to fans. I don't think it's a lack of competition in the squad.
So I've been hearing a lot of Liverpool fans getting quite angry with Klopp. And some of them are starting to question whether he's the right man to lead Liverpool forward and fix this mess. I personally don't share that view, but I wanted to know your thoughts.
Anyone who's saying that isn't a fucking smart Liverpool fan, are they? You must be a fucking moron if you've not been watching TV
There's
for
not
the
a lot
past
of
fucking
them.
years. You must not have been watching TV for the past fucking 5 years because we were shit before this man arrived. Barely any money's been put into the club on the pitch. All the money's been invested in the stadium or the training ground or whatever. And we're grateful to FSG for that, but we could use some fucking money in the transfer window too. Next year, if Jude Bellingham fucking goes somewhere else, what the fuck are we going to do? So here's the thing, bro. Jurgen Klopp is the reason we have any right to have any expectations of Liverpool winning shit in the last 6 years. Okay? Let's make no fucking mistake about that. If it wasn't for that guy, right now we'd probably be in a fucking relegation battle. All right? This motherfucker has done every fucking thing in the last 6 seasons to make us successful. And we have been we've been punching above our weight for way too fucking long. And now all the chickens are coming home to roost. He is not the problem. If there's anyone that can get us out of this mess and make us competitive again, it's Jurgen fucking Klopp. If anyone calls for his fucking head, get out the fucking door. You don't understand football and you have no idea what we've been through for the last fucking 25 years. All right? This is the golden era. This shit patch, it'll end. But it won't end because Jurgen Klopp is gone. It'll end because Jurgen Klopp is still at the fucking club. He's still calling the shots, and he's still our fucking manager. That's how we fucking succeed. We don't succeed by getting rid of the manager. We succeed by investing more money and resources behind this fucking manager and giving him all the fucking support in the world because he deserves every ounce of it, dude. He deserves every bit of support you can fucking give him. I won't hear a fucking word against Jurgen Klopp.
Well, look, I think that I don't think you can write him off yet, but I'm really, really hoping to see you in the Europa League very, very soon. Hoping Napoli and Ajax take those top spots. Enjoy it, man. It's good to see you on the other side of this. I'm usually the one who's been complaining for the last 10 years. I love it.
It's just, you know, what's hurtful is from the first game, I took a screenshot as I was watching the game leading up to Fulham's first goal. Again, there was like a huge gap in the center of the pitch where a midfielder normally is, or three midfielders are supposed to be. And I was watching the goals yesterday, and it was the exact same thing. Exact same thing. So like
watching Harry Maguire every week.
And like the sad thing is, like our superstars, your Van Dijks, your Trent, your, like Fabinho is a world-class midfielder. He has been for the past 4 seasons. Salah, like these guys are just not, it's not clicking. It's just not clicking. Van Dijk's not going out for tackles. He's not aggressive in the tackle. He's not trying to win the ball. He's trying to contain the situation. Bro, you're Virgil van Dijk. What are we fucking talking about? You can outmuscle any one of these motherfuckers and outpace them. Just be aggressive, bro. We went from being the most proactive football team in Europe to being the most reactive in the course of a month. That's what fucking hurts. It's just not Liverpool. Intensity is our identity. Bring it back, motherfuckers. Bring that shit back.
I have nothing else to add. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I'm so glad we finally got a Garv meltdown live. It's awesome. See you guys next time.